Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego. It's April 5th, 2025, and it's time for another live stream giving you free information on how to process a green card, your K1 visa, how to fill out I-129F, how to put a green card package together, how to put a spousal visa package together, how to get your family reunited as quickly as possible with as limited cost as possible. And here we are. Now, Karina, she had a very long week. She was busy working. She's tired, so she's going to get some rest. And I'm going to do the live stream here by myself. It's Saturday, April 5th, 2025. I got the Mountain Dew ready for the Mountain Dew salutes. And I've got the MAGA Pixie Dust ready for giving you guys all of this good luck to get your green cards approved and your K1 visas approved and spousal visas. Now, remember that this process is slow, especially when it gets from the once you get your NOA2 letter, your approval letter from the USCIS Service Center, it's going to hang out at the USCIS. Your approved K1 visa will hang out at USCIS until the MVC will accept it, and they usually take them in once every 2 weeks in big crates. Once the National Visa Center gets your approved K1 visa, they will then be at the mercy of the U.S. embassies and consulates around the world as they wait for those folks to get on busy so they can then start the process of getting you ready with the ready status. So what happens? The National Visa Center, they need to issue you an invoice number and a case number. Now, my wife is from Venezuela. My beautiful wife, Karina, is from Venezuela. Okay? And we didn't need a case number or an invoice number. We didn't need that. I scheduled Karina's K1 visa interview at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia, without that information necessary. In the SIAC, which is the website you go to, the Consular Electronic Center, where you schedule your beneficiary's visa interview and also the biometrics. Some embassies around the world, like Mexico, they require the case number and the invoice number. If you don't have the invoice number, you got to send an email to the embassy and ask them for it. Okay? So, hey, I need my invoice number. I need my case number so I can go on to the next step and pay the consular fee. Okay? Very important. But we didn't need it. Karina and she didn't need that information from the MVC. What does the MVC do with your USCIS approved K1 visa application and K2 visa application? They review it for any mistakes and if there's any discrepancies or anything like that. And that's where they do the FBI police check on the US citizen sponsor. So I got my police check done. The FBI checked me out from the National Visa Center, and then they sent Karina's K1 visa approved K1 visa to the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia via DHL courier. Okay. And sometimes, like if you live in the Philippines or if you live in Africa, those countries, Australia, sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get the K1 visa shipped to those countries because it's such a long way away. The Philippines is a 24-hour flight, so it's Thailand. So, if you're dating somebody from the beautiful Philippines or beautiful Thailand, it's probably going to be inexpensive because the plane tickets are very expensive and the process may not be as fast in shipping from the MPC to the embassy. Okay. Now I got Mountain Dew ready to go for Mountain Dew salutes for anybody that got their K1 visa approved or they got their visa interviews approved. Let me move this. We got Angel Tate first up to bat. Hi, Diego. How are you? And Larry Piercy. Now, Larry and Morgie, Larry's wife is from the Philippines, is from Thailand, excuse me. And Larry's a member of this channel, okay? He's a paid up member. And Francois, she's good. Good evening, Diego and Karina. Now, Francois is a paid member. And Larry is saying, still waiting on, hi, bud, still waiting. And Larry says, where's Karina? Well, Karina, she's been working all week. And she is tired. She's tired. So she's taking the night off, okay? Luzon 3, don't they ship electronically? Who ship electronically? Who's that? They submit documents electronically, yeah. from the USCIS to the MVC, but they also have to ship the paper documents too. But yeah, they do. They ship electronically. They do it every couple of weeks, and they ship the rest of the paperwork in boxes, in crates. And let's see, Kevin Cameron, can I use 2-year tax return for my fiance's interview in the Philippines? My agency told me this year's would be okay. Your agency? What do you mean your agency? You working for? Do you work for the National Security Agency or the Central Intelligence Agency? Who do you like a top secret spy? Your agency told me you could use this year's. Well, with the Philippines, you're going to need, you want to have at least 3 years worth of tax returns, 2024, 2023, and 2022. Now, they may only ask for 2024, but sometimes they ask for 3 years. Sometimes they ask for 2 years. The embassy in Manila sometimes asks for 3 years, 2 years, or 1 year. So my advice is to have 3 years worth of tax returns ready, so that way you're prepared in case they ask for 3 years. Okay? And don't forget the I-134. You got to fill out the I-134 and sign it and date it. The sponsor fills out the I-134, not the beneficiary. The only time a beneficiary fills out an I-134 is if he or she wants to come to the United States on vacation. Okay, that's it. But when you're coming to America on a K-1 visa or a K-2, you got to fill out, the sponsor has to fill out the I-134. So Kevin says, can I use 2 years of tax returns? I would use 3 years. I mean, I don't know what agency you're talking about, but I would have 3 years worth of financial documents, and bank statements, 12 months worth of bank statements, 6 months worth of pay stubs, a letter from your boss saying where you work, how much money you make a year, etc., etc., etc. You want to be able to prove your income to immigration, the consular officer. 100% of the minimum income poverty guideline for the K-1 and 125% for the green card application. So if you're only at 100% of the minimum income requirements, you need to be getting a joint sponsor. Not so much for the K-1 visa interview at the embassy, but for the green card application. Angel Tate, my husband is still waiting for his green card. Yeah, it's not easy. He's been waiting since October 2024. He got an RFE, but we responded to it in November. We didn't apply for the work permit. Well, no, Angel, that's okay. Immigration's not, if immigration had a problem with your RFE, if there was an issue with anything in your green card application, they would have already notified you with a letter of some kind. They sent you an RFE, you responded to the RFE. Now you're just in the queue to wait for adjudication. Okay, it could take a total of 9 or 10 months. If you get an RFE, adds about 6 to 8 weeks or 10 weeks on top of the amount of time you already waited, which sucks, right? But hang in there, Angel. You'll be all right. If there was any problem, immigration would have contacted you. Adolfo Sanchez, good evening, Diego. Question: what is the wait time in California adjustment of status? We barely have 4 months since we applied. Are you talking for the wait time in California for the green card application? It's 9 to 10 months for the green card application. So 9.3 months exactly is the correct answer, but it's 9 to 10 months. Larry, Angel, I did exactly the same, except I returned my RFE December 1st. You filed October 24th. October 2nd, 2024. So Larry and Angel are basically in the same boat. But here's the thing. If there were any issues with Larry and Angel's paperwork, you would have been notified already by immigration. They would have said, hey, thanks for the RFE, but they haven't sent you any buts. There's no negativity in your mailbox. So you're good, okay? But for Larry and Angel, here is some mega picks he does for you guys, okay? How about that? And we're going to do some Mountain Dew salutes for hanging in there. You guys are patient. It's not an easy process. You go to bed, you think tomorrow's the green card's going to be in your mailbox. But it's going to take time. But you haven't received anything negative from immigration. If there was a problem, Angel and Larry, you would have heard about it already. Okay? Immigration would be telling you, hey, there's a problem, but there isn't. They haven't, so you just got to wait. Let me see here. Don't want to miss anybody. Angel, the RFE is for affidavit of support. We filled it out correctly and met the requirements, so it's shocked to see the RFE. Sometimes immigration makes mistakes too. Okay, they make mistakes. You just respond to the RFE and read and send them what they ask for, and then wait for the green card. Okay, you're okay. It's just a waiting game, and it sucks. I mean, with Karina and I, we waited 24 months, like somewhere in there, just to get to the embassy interview, because 2 years. Let me see. Claire and Madsen Vlogs. Hey, Diego, our canceled interview for my husband's adjustment of status for the K1 has been rescheduled. Okay. Any advice for us? We're in Southern California. Well, we're business casual to the interview. It's no big deal. Okay, a green card interview is no big deal as long as you bring all of the supporting documents for the interview. They sent you a letter, or they're going to send you a letter, and they're going to tell you what documents you have to bring to the interview. So they scheduled the green card interview, then they canceled it, and then they rescheduled it. That happens all the time. It's normal. Happens to hundreds of people. But when you get the letter for the visa for the green card interview, read what it says in the letter, and they're going to tell you to bring certain documents with you. Okay? Proof of your relationship. See what they ask for. But you're good. A green card. We're going to have to go to a green card interview. Karina and I will go to a green card interview. That's no big deal. We just, chug along, follow the rules. Angel Tate to Larry, did you apply for the work permit? I don't think Larry applied for the work permit from Augie. I don't think so. Dwayne Bickelman, as of now, we are on step 4, case decision on adjustment of status. Third step was interview, but it shows complete. We didn't do an interview. So what you're going to basically just wait and see now if they mail you the green card into your house. That's where you're at right now. But they may just mail it to you, the green card, or they may send you a letter with a new date for a new green card interview. Let me see. Larry Piercy, I think they replaced my I-864 because Diego saw it. They lost it. They didn't replace it. They lost it. I saw the I-864. It was perfectly fine. Larry, I went over your I-864 with a fine-tooth comb. There was no errors. The household size was correct. You filled it out properly. You signed it. Everything was perfect. But immigration lost it. They lost it. And then they said, okay, where's the I-864? Okay, let's send Larry an RFE. He needs to resend his 864, which you did, right? Now you just got to wait. Hurry up and wait. It's like you're in the chow line on a U.S. Marine Corps on a Navy ship and in a Marine Corps detachment. You're in line. Just hang in there. Let me see. Francois Livingston, Karina, enjoy your evening off. Well deserved. She's watching the show back there and relaxing. Okay, now you see right there, you see that right there? That is a computer, okay? It's a Raspberry 3 computer, which I used for years to do this live stream for you guys. Right here, that's J-Rod. This computer right here, I found out, was only 3 gig of memory. So I basically burned the computer out doing the live streams and making the videos, and it was getting to the point where the company that I edit the videos on was saying, your graphics card is no good, your memory is not rendering properly, your videos are not rendering properly. I'm like, what the heck? And then I get this big black screen come across the front. So basically I wore out the computer. So this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the computer that I've been working on, helping you guys get your green cards and get your K1 visas, etc. But now it is a display piece. Okay, it's like it's a historical document because it doesn't work anymore. But the good news is today I purchased a Raspberry 7, which is that was 3 gig. This is 16 gig of memory. So I'm not going to ever have another problem with an unstable internet connection or a graphic card or trying to make a fantastic video for you guys, because this computer here is the best. The next step up from this would be 32 gig, but I don't need 32 gig to make videos with. So I got plenty of memory now. And so you guys are not going to get interrupted anymore on live streams. But this is the computer that I used to use. This is the one you couldn't see. Now you can see it. I'm going to take the hard drive out and probably just toss it into the trash. Let me see here. Larry, what state are you in from? What state are you from, Angel? Angel Tate, thank you, Diego. Angel, you're good. And Angel's in New York with Francois. Francois Livingston's in New York. Okay? Guys, you're going to get your green card, okay? If there was a problem with if you didn't submit the RFE correctly, there would be you would have heard from immigration already. They would have, trust me, they would have contacted you. Let's see here. Claire and Madsen Vlogs. We have the interview scheduled after them getting our application and RFE replied within 4 months. There you go. So it took 4 months for them to get to your RFE and then schedule the green card interview. And Larry, did it go to Lee Submit, Missouri? Larry Piercy, Diego, interview has definitely picked up tenfold. Yeah. Immigration, listen, immigration want you to get your green cards, Mr. and Mrs. Beneficiaries, because they want you to go to work and start paying taxes. They want you to start being part of this great American capitalist republic. They want you working, making money, having a good time, enjoying your life with your new American citizen husband or wife. Okay? But it's a process in place, and it's not going to be the fastest process that you would like. Okay? I'm just trying to explain. I've been through this twice, and I've helped hundreds of people get their green cards, and I've helped people overcome notice of intent to deny. I've helped people. This one person was going to hire an immigration attorney and pay him $8,000 to fix a notice of intent to deny. And I fixed it for him for free over the internet, right here on a live stream. They saved that money. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney, okay? I don't give you any legal advice. I don't work for USCIS. Maybe I should. I don't. But I got 11 years doing this, okay? I can put a green card package together in my sleep. I can overcome issues, problems, and immigration questions just like that. If you have my phone number and my email address, you can text me anytime. I was helping people all day today, texting me questions. But those folks are members of the channel. If you want to be a member of this channel, sign up. It's $9.99 a month, and you'll have my phone number and my email. I got 2 spots left. I opened up 25 spots for membership. I've got 23 filled. I got 2 left. If you want to be a member, I got 2 spots left. Then I'm going to block membership until somebody cancels, and then that spot will open up. That way, I can focus on those 25 people personally with my phone texts, phone calls, emails, etc. I'm also helping this lady. Karina's got a friend from Guatemala. I'm helping her with her spousal visa, and she's marrying a Venezuelan. I can do this, guys, in my sleep. But the goal is to get you reunited with your families, but you're going to get reunited with your families just so long as you are patient and you qualify for the benefit, which you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't file for the visa, right, on the green card. Kevin Cameron, thank you. Diego, no problem. Mountain Dew salute. Francois Livingston, can't thank you enough for your guidance, Diego. First time in months and working on this nonstop. I feel such a weight has been lifted. There, Mountain Dew salute. Once you get that green card application mailed off, and you went over the green card application with a fine-tooth comb, and if you listen to what I tell you, then all that weight comes off your shoulders. And Francois is an example of that. Francois, Angel Tate, I also sent our green card package to Chicago because we live in New York State. Yeah, Francois, you live in upstate New York, and the weather's getting nice. I promised Karina, my wife, Karina, she's from Venezuela. She lived in Colombia for 6 years. We dated for 3 years in Colombia, which means I basically moved to Colombia for 3 years, even though I lived in Florida. And we got married on the beach in Florida, and then we renewed our vows last month in Las Vegas at the Little Chapel of the West. where Elvis Presley filmed Viva Las Vegas. And Telly Savalas got married there. Richard Gere got married there. So Karina was walking in the footsteps of Hollywood. And it was a long, slow process. But she made it. Now she's got her green card. She's working full time. She's enjoying life. She learned how to drive a car. She got her Florida driver's license. She knows where Walmart is. She can jump in the car and drive to Walmart. I taught her how to use the self-checkout instead of getting in line waiting for somebody. She goes to the self-checkout with all the groceries and she scans the food and this, and then she has her credit card. She pays for the groceries. There's no such thing as self-checkout in Colombia or Venezuela. She had no idea what it was. She had to learn how to use the microwave. They didn't have microwaves where she was. She used an oven for cooking. There was no microwave. I had to teach you all kinds of stuff. Okay? When you bring your beneficiary to the United States, your beneficiary is going to be in a whole different world from wherever they were before. Angel Tech Diego, did Denise's fiance arrive? Yeah, he got to the United States. They got married in Utah. They're just waiting on the green card, or they probably got it already. Francois, this is why I put Hamid's alien number on every page of the 864 and I-485. There you go. Angel Tech, Denise Jefferson got married in Utah to Kenneth. He was from Nigeria. And they went to their green card interview in Utah, and they got approved for their green card. And now I haven't heard a peep out of Denise Jefferson. Ever since she got her green card approved, I haven't heard a peep out of her, which is fine. Carlos, I'm getting ready to mail my I-485. Do I need to include my original divorce decree like I did my promisee to K1? Yes, you do. You got to get 5 certified copies of divorce decrees. 5. A minimum 5. 5 certified copies of your marriage certificate. You're going to need it for the 2-year green card. You're going to need it for the K1 visa. You're going to need it for the 10-year green card. You're going to need it for U.S. citizenship application. Francois Livingston, Angel Tate, not only is my fiance get here, but we were married 5 months ago. Yeah, Francois is doing good. Angel Tate, you need to tune in more often. Angel, Francois, congratulations. My husband and I will make a 1 year in a couple of weeks. Time is flying by. That's correct. Karina and I, we've been married over a year. Karina's next year, we're going to lift the conditions off of her 2-year green card and get her 10-year green card. Time goes by quick. But you got to keep collecting the evidence for the 10-year green card. Okay? Larry Piercy, it feels like being penalized for not requesting the work permit. No, immigration don't care if you get a work permit or not. It's less work for them. If you don't apply for the work permit, it's less work for immigration. They don't have to create another freaking document. Okay, it's less work. So it speeds up your green card application. If you don't apply for the work permit, it speeds up your green card application. It's less stuff for them to do. Angel Tate, you're right. The whole process has been stressing me out, especially because this was our first RFE. Diego always brings comfort. Angel, you're going to get the green card. You got to relax. If there was an issue with the RFE, when you returned the RFE, if there was a problem, immigration would have responded to you right away within a week. If there's no problem, you submit the RFE, there's no problems. Immigration will be like molasses. It will be like, the sap seeping out of a tree, slowly but surely. But you'll get the green card. Larry Piercy, Diego is spot on. I've never made a mistake doing this. Every time someone asks me a question, I always know the freaking answer. I just know. I've been through this stuff so much for so many years. I just know how to do this. Angel to Larry, my biggest regret is not applying for the work permit. There's no regrets in a green card application, or never have a regret. Okay? Don't have any regrets. Just be glad that the United States government, the Congress of the United States, and the president allows for this process. Remember, this is a benefit, not a right. You don't have a right to a green card. You don't have a right to live in this country. if you are a foreign national. It's a benefit. And Congress and the president and the Senate, they all signed off on this back in the 70s. It was Vietnam veterans that created the K-1 visa, by the way. Vietnam veterans are the folks that put political pressure on the Congress to create the K-1 visa. So if you are in an approval state for a K-1, you need to thank a Vietnam veteran, because it was those folks back in the 70s who were trying to marry Vietnamese ladies that couldn't because of the bureaucracy that was in place. Those are the folks that made this happen. Let me see. I thought the green card and the work permit would arrive at the same time. In the past, they did. So I didn't bother. You made the right decision. Turns out work permit process is faster. It is now. Back a year ago, it wasn't. Okay? It used to be free, the work permit. Now you got to pay for it. Goku Giova 1. Hello, Diego. This is Giovanni, Colombia, right? Good news. I just got married last Thursday, just like a week before the 90 days. Oh, you're cutting it close there. Do you watch Austin Powers movies? You must like living dangerously. I remember you told me to have another 3 months to submit the green card. That's correct. You got a total of 6 months to get this done from the day you arrived in America. So you got your I-94, which basically obliterates the K-1. The K-1 visa is used only to give you entry into America. The I-94 gives you 90 days to get married. So you get to America, the K-1 visa becomes obsolete. It becomes like my old computer right here. Obsolete. Now I got a new computer right here. This is the K-1 visa. It's obsolete. This is the I-94. It's your temporary green card. Think of it that way. You got to get married within 90 days. Otherwise, if you do not get married within 90 days, you will have to go home to your home country. Okay? So yes, you have up to 3 more months from the issue date of your I-94. Carlos, the I-94 expired. Okay. Will it be a problem? No. I didn't mail the I-485 within 90 days. That's okay. As long as you got married within 90 days and you get it done within 6 months. That's the most. You don't want to go past 6 months. You come to America, you get married within 90 days. You don't want to wait any longer than 6 months to apply for the green card. Number one, immigration is going to get it, and they're going to go, why'd you wait 8 months to do this? Well, you're still trying to decide whether you want to be together or not. Right? Think about that. It's not a problem, Carlos. But what we're going to do is we're going to put mega pixie dust all over your green card application. This is K-1 visa green card, super lucky 2025 mega pixie dust. Okay. Francois Livingston, Angel, take this time to bond and do lots of things together. Yeah, that's a good idea, Francois. But also keep the evidence of what you're doing together. Corinne and I, we went on vacation to Las Vegas and to Arizona. We went to the Grand Canyon. We went to Arizona. We went to Selman, Arizona, where they got the idea for the movie Cars. So Corinne was posing in front of these cars that were in this movie Cars. We went to Las Vegas. We went across the Mojave Desert. I think it's the Mojave Desert. And we had a good week. And we went to the Mandalay Aquarium in Las Vegas. We went to the Strat. We went to the top of the Strat Tower and relaxed up there for, we went up there twice, actually. I think it was twice. But we had a great time. But I got the boarding passes and the receipts of the hotel we stayed at. We stayed at the Treasure Island in Las Vegas on the Strip. And it's close to Interstate 15. I think it's Interstate 15. But I keep all the receipts for her 10-year green card. So when we got back to Florida, I put the boarding passes of our trip. It says Diego Ross and Karina Ross from Florida to Las Vegas, and then Diego Ross, Karina Ross from Las Vegas to Florida. All that stuff and all the receipts. We went in the Strat, we went in the aquarium. All those receipts is right now in Karina's 10-year green card application with lots of pictures. So when immigration open up her 10-year green card package, they're going to have 2 years worth of more evidence of us doing stuff together. We're going to go on another vacation, probably September. I'm thinking I'll bring Karina to New York City. Go eat at Patsy's Italian Restaurant in New York. It's my favorite restaurant in New York City. It's Patsy's Italian Restaurant. Frank Sinatra used to eat there a lot. I'll take her up the World Trade Center, the Empire State Building, to the memorial, the World Trade Center Memorial. Let me see. There's plenty to do. Take her to the Statue of Liberty. Go to Ellis Island. And then take a trip to Washington, D.C. It's only about a 2-hour drive from New York to Washington. If you're in New York City, you can drive to Washington, D.C. It's so close. So I'll probably do that with Karina, and I'll keep all those plane tickets again, all those receipts again, hotel receipts. That's going to go in her 10-year green card application. Goku Jehovah 1, do I have to send something in between, like married paper before while I submit the adjustment of status? No. Joku Jehovah 1, you only submit the green card application once. Don't mess it up. Make sure you didn't make any mistakes in the application. Okay? No mistakes. Zero. This green card application is a zero mistake process. So you got to go over the paperwork carefully to make sure you didn't make any typos, didn't spell anybody's name wrong, didn't transpose any numbers on the people. Forget to sign the freaking paperwork. And all it does is it sets you back a month or two on the process. Angel said, Angel Take, thank you, Francois. And Goku Jehovah 1, you don't have to send anything. Once you file for the green card, make sure you fill out the check to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Do not use your credit card to pay for your green card, ladies and gentlemen. Don't use your credit card. 9 times out of 10, your bank will reject the charge, and then you're going to be getting letters from immigration. We couldn't get paid. We didn't get paid. Your green card application is going back to you. Use a check or a cashier's check to pay for your green card application. Okay? You got to listen to me, guys. You got to trust me. Angel, thank you, Francois. Emil Stout, we already mailed the RFE documents for the I-864. Thanks for your help. So that's going to be requiring some MAGA pixie dust for that. No problem. Larry Piercy, you're welcome. K1 Visa, VN. Carlos, since the I-94 is expired, she has the military card for ID now until the green card comes in. Do I need to make a copy, include a copy of her military ID with the 485? Yes. Karina has a military ID. Okay, she can go on any military base in the world, but not secret places. You know, she can't get into Area 51. All right, I'd love to take her into Area 51 and go check out those UFOs they're back engineering, but we can't go there. But she can go to the commissary on the military base. She can go. She's got her medical appointments she can go to, etc. You got to include the military ID front and back in the green card application. Immigration's going to look and see she has a military ID. Do you know how strong that is for approving a green card? I mean, that's max 100% strong right there. Ammo Stout, we already mailed the RFE documents for the I-864. Thanks for your help. And Carlos, do I need to make a copy, include a copy of the military ID with her 485? Yes, you do. And let me page down. I got a whole new computer system. Okay. I got a new keyboard. I got a new mouse. I got a new desktop, which is max memory. So I don't ever have an unstable internet connection ever again. That computer right here was the computer that got you through your green card applications, your K1 visa applications. Everything was all connected up through the YouTube. It wore out. Yesterday, the last live stream I did with you guys, I couldn't even get a connection. The computer is dead in the water. Then I got the black screen of death. So I said, okay, computer, you're retired. I bought a brand new one this morning, and it's max memory. It's so fast. I'm going to make some excellent videos for you guys, and it's going to be the video production. The video is going to be much better with this computer. And the editing software I used to make videos for you guys, the editing company, the software company was saying, your graphics are not compatible with our company. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And they were right. Now everything's running smoothly. So don't worry, Carlos, I'm on the I-94. Don't panic, okay? We did not receive the I-94 when we got to the U.S., but they put a stamp showing when she got to the U.S. Is that enough? No, that's not enough. You got to go on the Border Patrol website, go into the U.S. Border Patrol website, go into Google or Microsoft, whoever your internet server is, but I use Google, and type in their I-94 Border Patrol website. The website's going to pop up. You're going to need your fiance or your wife's passport, and you're going to go into where it says process I-94. You got to get the I-94 off of the Border Patrol website. It's not sufficient to use the one they stamp in the passport. That when Karina arrived in Miami, Florida from Bogota with me, they put in her passport a card with her I-94 number on it. They stapled it in her passport. But when we got home a couple of days later, I went into the Border Patrol website, found her I-94 online, and I printed 5 copies. Okay? You're going to need 5 copies of the I-94. One to get her social security number. One to carry around in her purse. That is her legal status in the United States. Her legal status in America right now is sitting on an I-94, expired or not. But you got to print at least 5 copies of it. You got to include the printed copy in the green card application, not the little card that the immigration officer stapled in the passport. You understand what I'm saying, right? If you go into this channel, this YouTube channel, which I made for you guys, I created this channel for you. It was Karina's idea, my wife. We were in Colombia. It was her idea, and we were in Villa de Leyva. She said, I had a cooking channel, so I deleted all the cooking videos, and I created an immigration channel for you guys. And I've helped hundreds of people get their green cards and their K-1 visas. If you listen to me and pay attention to what I tell you, and you qualify for the benefit, you're going to get your green card, okay? If you don't know how to go to the Border Patrol website, I have made a video on how to do it. Go look where it says, look for a video across this channel. Type in I-94. I've made like 3 videos on how to get the I-94 if you don't know how to do it. I made a video about it. It's a couple of minutes. But you got to print those I-94s off of the computer, off your printer. And that reminds me, I got this Canon printer here. I got to reconnect it to this computer, because it used to be connected to that computer, but now I got a new computer, so I got to connect the printer to the computer so I can print more stuff for Karina, more evidence of her being with me here in Florida. So go Kujiova 1. You got to go into the Border Patrol website and find the I-94s and print them. Let me see. Chris and Emil, Larry Piercy, did you make your selection for your past due membership of Diego? Yeah, I got 23 members on this channel. I'm only going to accept 25. So I got 2 spots left open. It's $9.99 a month. The most you would pay is $120 over a year if you need my help for a year. If you only need my help for 2 months, the most you would pay would be what? $20, less than $20. The only reason I ask for a membership fee is so I know who's got my phone number and who's got my email address. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I do it for free. But YouTube says I got to do it this way. I got to have a membership. So if I'm giving you guys my phone number and my email so you can text me questions, which you guys do. I mean, I got questions all day today. Okay. I'm right here talking to people on the phone with their green card application, helping them. Chris and Emma, am I correct? So if you want to be a channel member, it's up to you. You don't have to, but if you want to be, there's only 2 spots left. Once I fill up the spots to 25, I got 23 members. When I hit 25, I'm done. I'm not going to take any more members. So there's 2 spots left. If you want my phone number, if you want my email address, sign up as a member. If not, just hang out with us on the live stream. Larry, don't have any past dues. Good deal, Chris and Emma. Larry Piercy, Chris, have you filed your 485? Chris, we went over Chris and Emma. I spoke with Chris on the phone yesterday, pretty much most of the day. We were back and forth on the phone talking. Chris is a member of the channel, so we were on the phone talking, and I fixed Chris and Emil's RFE over the phone and with screenshots, right, Chris and Emil? I fixed my green card and permit. I had an RFE. You fixed it. I fixed it. There you go. So the I-8, everybody's 9 times out of 10, an RFE for a green card application comes back to the sponsor because of they filled out the paperwork incorrectly for the 864. They forget to sign the 864. They got the wrong family size on the 864. Or immigration loses the 864. If immigration loses your 864, make sure you got a copy at the house so you can redo it. Let me see. Chris and Emma, I'm in good standing. Yeah, you're good. We went over your income, so we're going to give a Mountain Dew salute to Chris and Emma for getting that RFE fixed. But 9 times out of 10, the problems with the RFEs is with the 864. It's a complicated form the way immigration has designed it. So I've uncomplicated it so you can understand it. Okay? Everyone has the same thing, 864. Everybody who got an RFE watching this right now had a problem with the 864. 100% of all the RFEs that I fixed this week were because of the 864. Goku Jehovah 1, Diego, for the I-94 on the website, do I put the passport number? The passport number, not the visa number. The immigration, the I-94 is created every time a foreign national enters the United States or leaves the United States, whether for a K-1, whether for a vacation, whether for a spousal visa. If you come into the United States as a tourist, you get an I-94. So if you are a foreign national and you come to the United States on vacation to see your U.S. citizen sponsor, which you can do on a tourist visa, okay, you're going to get an I-94. So when you apply for the K-1 visa in the future, you're going to have to print those I-94s, got to print them, for the K-1 visa application. Immigration want to see how many vacations you took in the United States. And did you go back to your home country? If you come to America and get married on a tourist visa, it's not a good idea to do that. Perfect. Joku Jehovah 1. Now, I believe your wife is from Colombia, right? Weren't you in Colombia? Larry Piercy, Diego, would they have looked at the I-864 by now? Yes, they have. I don't want another RFE. No, you're not. You would have got it by now. You would have already got it by now. They've already looked at your paperwork, Larry. Now it's on a queue over here. Chris Neville, still waiting $5,000 for the check. Somebody sending you a check for $5,000? Colombia. I thought, yeah, I got a pretty good memory. I thought at first I said Italy. A few months ago I said Italy, but it's Colombia. Medellin, was it Medellin? Larry Piercy sent the same thing in. So everybody right now watching this right now live, who I helped fix your RFEs, it was because of an 864 error or a lost 864. Now, Chris Neal, I went ahead and redid your 864 for you, page 5 and page 7. So now you're good to go. Okay? Now, hopefully, you've got it mailed off and you can get back in the queue. Now, Chris Neal was talking about a $5,000 check. Are you talking about from the IRS, a tax refund? Because Elon Musk and his team has found all this money that was being ripped off from us taxpayers. They found all this money. The IRS was paying, or the Treasury Department was paying all around the world for this and for that and for this and for puppet shows here in Iraq. All this money is unconstitutionally being spent. Massive fraud, corruption. And and Elon Musk and his team are recouping all this money and bringing it back to the Treasury Department. They're bringing the money back from all this BS taxpayer spending. And so what happens now is that all these people are protesting Elon Musk for saving Social Security, for saving Medicare. They're saving Social Security from insolvency. And you get all these idiots out there protesting Elon Musk and President Trump, his Doge team, because they're saying he's trying to destroy Social Security. It's totally bogus. What Elon Musk has done, this applies to beneficiary. If you are a foreign national coming to America and you get work, you start working, you're going to start paying FICA tax. That's money for your future for Social Security. But we got to have Social Security. We got to have money in the bank, right? For your future, Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary. You want to be able to work and then get 62, claim your Social Security. But if there's no money in the bank, there's not going to be any Social Security. So what Elon Musk is doing is he's basically uncovering all of the fraudulent payments and recouping that money back to the Treasury. And people are protesting that. It makes no sense. It's just totally low IQ. Why would somebody protest Elon Musk for saving Social Security? I can't figure it out. But then what's going to happen is that the IRS is going to mail everybody. If you are a taxpayer who pay taxes every year, you're going to get a check from Elon Musk via the Treasury for $5,000. When? I don't know. But it's a good check. I'd be glad to get that money back. Let me see here. Chris Nimmel, the Doge stimulus check. Yeah, the Department of Government Efficiency. And they are finding all kinds of massive corruption and fraud in the government. And they are recouping the money back to the Treasury Department. Let me see. Joe Kujova 1, we got issues with the little girl father initially, but he signed. I knew he would. I remember. And we got my fiance, now wife, and the little one to come here. Yeah. If you live in Colombia and your fiance has a baby or a child or children, the father or the mother, the other parent, has to sign a legal document giving that child permission to leave Colombia. Okay? If a judge doesn't sign off on that paperwork, when you get to immigration in El Dorado Airport in Bogota, immigration is going to want to see that letter only if the child is being accompanied by one parent. So if you are a Colombian and you meet an American and you have a child and you want to leave Colombia, come live in America, you gotta get permission from the father of the child to leave Colombia. It's all to do with child trafficking laws and things like that. If you're a Colombian and you were married to a Colombian and had a baby together, and then your husband died, in order for you to leave Colombia with your child, you got to have a certified copy of the death certificate signed by whatever legal entities in Colombia sign death certificates. Otherwise, the child cannot leave the country. Okay, very important. A lot of people watch me from Colombia and Venezuela, South America, Central America. People watch me in 152 countries. Pakistan, India, the Philippines. Beautiful, all these beautiful people around the world watch little old me because I got all this information up here. If you are in Colombia and you have a child and you want to bring the child to America, it's only one parent with the child plus the sponsor, you got to get a letter from the other parent giving the child permission to leave, or else that child will be stopped at the airport and will be denied entry into the airplane. So make sure. So I'm very glad to hear that you got that squared away there, Joko Giova 1. I remember advising you on that and how to fix that. The psychology of how to get that signature. Larry Piercy, I personally feel it's cheap to find out if a hermit crab can play checkers on cocaine in Ghana. Yeah, our taxpayer money, I pay taxes, you pay taxes, was being basically wasted and sent. It was like a slush fund for a bunch of people who had no authority to have access to that money. And they were sending it all over the world. It was absolutely insane. Millions and billions of dollars. Elon Musk has saved the US taxpayer close to $1 trillion right now. And he's only been doing it for a month. And he's already recouped close to $1 trillion. I mean, that's a lot of freaking money. That's being flushed down the toilet by these socialists and Marxists and who go by the name of progressives, and Republicans too. They're just as bad. It's not just the Democrats, it's Republicans too, with their own little slush funds. But Elon Musk is fixing it with his team. And now people are protesting him for doing that, destroying Teslas, scratching Teslas. Why would anybody destroy the private property of somebody else because they don't agree with Elon Musk saving Social Security from insolvency? It just doesn't make any sense. If I was Elon Musk, I would be putting a bounty. I would put a bounty on the head of anybody that did property damage to a Tesla. He needs to put a $50,000 bounty on everybody's head. So don't be going, if you don't like Elon Musk, if you don't like Trump, that's okay. But don't be going around destroying private property because you don't like what they're doing, who they are, their politics. Don't do that. That's Marxism. That's communism. That's what Lenin did. Well, congratulations, Goku Jova 1, on getting the paperwork signed for your little girl. Larry Piercy, I personally feel that much money is cheap. Okay, guys, I've been talking for 51 minutes. Give me some questions. Goku Jova 1, Mountain Dew salute for getting your Colombian stepchild that signature, because that was gold right there for you. Bringing that child to the United States from Colombia is gold for that little child. For that little child to grow up in this country in America is a great opportunity. Outstanding opportunity. Don't forget, you got to file a green card for your wife and for your stepchild. You're going to have to pay 2 green card fees, one for your wife, one for your stepchild. You're going to have to find 2 I-94s, one for your wife, one for your stepchild. Okay? If you bring somebody to the United States who's 1 year old, that child is going to be an independent green card holder. So you got to file a green card for the child independently from the mother or the father. But you can put them in the same box and ship them by FedEx or UPS or DHL. Okay? Lots of people make this mistake. They bring a child to the United States from another country. They file for the green card for the mother or the father, and they don't file for the green card for the child because they think, well, when I filed the K-1 visa, the child was a derivative on the I-129F, right? You put the name of the mom or the dad, your fiance goes in the I-129F, and then you put the child as a derivative on the I-129F, right? So you think one package of paperwork is sufficient to get the green card for the mother and the child, but it isn't. When you come to America, you got to file 2 separate green cards for 2 separate people. It doesn't matter how old they are. Doesn't matter how old they are. Joku Jova 1, question, even with the 2-year green card, can we go to Colombia for like 2 weeks on vacation all together? Yes, you can, but don't do it. Why would you do that? You spent a year and a half, 2 years trying to get them to America, and then all of a sudden you got to go back to Colombia? Don't do it. When it comes time for U.S. citizenship for your Colombian wife, the first question they're going to ask her is, have you ever left the United States? Well, yeah, I went to Colombia. I got to America, got my green card, and then I went back to Colombia for a vacation. Okay. Why? Why'd you do that? I mean, it could happen. My recommendation is this. You get your 2-year green card, you get to America, you get your 10-year green card, you get your U.S. citizenship out of the way, and then you go on vacation to Colombia. My wife, Karina, is from Venezuela. When my wife becomes a U.S. citizen, which will be in 2027, as long as her English skills are up to par, then we're going to go to Colombia for vacation. Well, when she goes to a U.S. citizenship interview, the immigration officer is going to ask her, have you ever left the United States, or have you lived in the United States continuously since you arrived? Yeah, I've never left the United States. Oh, very good. You're very good. Okay. If you leave the United States and come back to America from vacation, you got to print an I-94. It's got to go in the 10-year green card application. It's a pain in the backside. You get to America, you get your 2-year green card, you get your 10-year green card, you become a citizen, you get a U.S. passport, and then you travel and go and visit people. Okay? When I was in Colombia with Karina, I had all her family. We had our engagement party on December 24th, 2021 in Bogota, Colombia. I called everybody over. This was Christmas Eve. It was the only day we could get everybody together because everybody's working. I called everybody together. We had a big Christmas dinner, Venezuelan Christmas dinner. And I said, look, when Karina comes to America, she's not coming back to Colombia till she's a citizen. Are you guys okay with that? We need to have a vote. Colombia is a constitutional republic like America. Let's have a vote. So there was about 20 people in the room, all of her brothers, her family, her nephews, her nieces, everybody. And I said, look, let's have a vote. Raise your hand if you are okay with Karina not coming back to Colombia until she's a U.S. citizen. Everybody raised their hand. I said, good. Next thing I did was spoke to her mom in Venezuela. I said, Mom, Karina's not coming back to Colombia until she's a citizen. Are you good with that? I'm good with that. So the whole family understood before I brought Karina to America that she's not going anywhere till she's a citizen of America. The whole family knew that. I said, Mom, are you in good health? Do you have any medical issues that need to be taken care of before Karina leaves Colombia? No, I'm good. I said, okay. This is the way it's got to be, guys. If you want to be a success, if you don't want to risk being denied re-entry in America, don't leave the country. Don't leave the country. If you don't want to risk being denied re-entry, don't leave the country till you're a U.S. citizen. It's my opinion. It's my best advice to give you. And if you listen to me, then your family will be not having to put up with any immigration issues re-entering the United States. Okay? Let's see. Don't go anywhere. We got kind of a deal with the father of the little one to have him stay for like a week or two when we go to Colombia. Nope. Can't do it. That's the same guy that said he's not going to sign the paperwork for that child to leave Colombia. And now you want to let him stay with him? You do understand if you take that child to Colombia with a green card, that in order to bring that child back to the United States, that guy, the father of that child, has to sign another legal document giving that child permission to leave Colombia. You understand that, right? Because you haven't adopted that child. You haven't adopted the child. That child doesn't have your name. That child has the father's last name. So here's the deal. You bring that little child from Colombia to America, and you become a citizen. Your wife becomes a citizen, which will pass citizenship onto the child. You adopt the child. You give the child your last name. Get the child a passport with your last name, and then that child will not be legally put in any political limbo by that guy who tried to create a problem for you in the first place. Do you understand what I'm saying? That guy right now controls whether that child leaves Colombia or not. Hopefully the child is in the United States. It makes sense. Yeah. Once that child is in America, that child stays in this country until that child is a U.S. citizen. And you've adopted him or her, and then you can get a U.S. passport for the child, then the father of the child no longer has any legal ties to the child other than blood. Protect that child. Protect that child. Okay, guys, I've been talking for an hour. I don't even know what day it is today. Saturday. I'll be back on Monday, 6 p.m. Karina will be with me. She will be rested up by then. She had a long week, guys. I'm going to put a lot of MAGA pixie dust on everybody with the RFEs. And a Mountain Dew salute to Joku Giava One's stepchild from Colombia. Bring that child to America and keep him or her here until she's a citizen and has got your last name. When that child has got your last name and a U.S. passport, then that child can travel freely back to Colombia for vacation with you without any legal ramifications from the Border Patrol, from Colombian immigration, and from that guy who tried to block that child having a fantastic opportunity in this great country, the United States. If you listen to me, Joku Jiavawan, that child in the future will be thanking you for what I have told you to do. See you guys on Monday. If you want to be a member of the channel, please sign up. I got 2 spots left. Once I'm filled up, I'm done. Then I'm not taking any more members. And thanks for watching.